Let's do this.
You're never actually ready, but now we're live, so you have no choice but to be ready.
We're live already? What happened to the countdown?
Oh, well, do you want to count it down?
No. Now this is just awkward. I was like waiting. You usually give me music. I dance behind the scenes. It's a whole thing. And you just kind of like ruined it for me. But that's okay. How are you doing, Chris?
I'm a little stressed out. We're trying to figure out all the, it's a constant tech struggle when we're going to go live. It just happens every time, regardless. We have 2 people joining us, though. Well, we have 3 people joining us already. Welcome.
We are excited to record this podcast today. And oh my goodness, I cannot wait for people to hear this awkward story because it is so good and so embarrassing for both of us that I almost don't want you to share it. But I feel like, we just need to own it.
I really was hoping that it would just be embarrassing for only you and not me. But
no, it's embarrassing for you too.
Oh man, I'm just wrapping up some last minute behind the scenes stuff since I was the one who messed up the recording last episode.
Yeah,
now it's on. Now I gotta fix my mistakes.
Oh no, I cannot record on QuickTime. It got mad at me. Why would it tell me no?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Real new audio recording. I click the record button. Oh, now it's going. Just kidding.
Oh, wait. Angie said, while we're getting ready here, she said, hello, it's my birthday. I told my fam I have a work meeting to listen to this.
Welcome, Angie, and happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Angie.
Yeah. And you know what? This is an important meeting, and I'm so excited. I feel like so honored that you joined us for your birthday.
I know, exactly. Allison, the pressure's on. Don't mess it up. Don't mess up Angie's birthday episode. That's all I'm saying.
You messed up the last podcast, so I guess it's my turn. I don't know how that works.
Oh, man. Yeah, we're almost ready to go. We're just going through and making sure that I don't mess up the recording.
Okay. Do you have everything?
Oh, Angie T said, my birthday was Saturday. Oh, well, happy belated birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
Did you get to do anything special? That's what we need to know.
Oh, yes. Did you have cake or cupcakes? Oh, my son, this is a total side note. He wrote an essay in class, literally wrote an essay in class about why it's important to eat more cake. And he had to have reasons. And one of the reasons was because, it was basically like, you don't have to eat it every day. He said, I'm not saying you have to eat it every day. Just weekly or monthly is fine. And he said, plus, you can make cake healthy by making it sugar-free.
Oh, who wants to eat that?
And then, I don't know. Then he said, or you could just have smaller cakes, like cupcakes.
Now.
Cake, but smaller.
Now we're talking there. I'm on board with that. Don't take the sugar out of the cake. Just make it smaller.
Just make it smaller portions. And he said, so in conclusion, have more cake. So anyway, it was awesome. So Angie, I hope you had cake.
Oh, and I messed it up. It is Angie's birthday today. It was Beth's birthday on Saturday. I'm mixing the birthdays up.
You're kind of like loud, Chris.
Am I loud?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, let me turn myself down. Is this better?
Yeah.
Is that better for you?
Yeah.
All right. As you see, I'm clearly still learning this. So yeah, Beth's birthday was on Saturday. So happy belated birthday to Beth. Happy current birthday to Angie.
Oh, she was telling Angie that her birthday was Saturday. Sprinkles cupcakes were picked up. We will have it after my meeting. This meeting. I love it. I love it so much.
Oh, I love Sprinkles cupcakes. I think we have a couple cupcake places out here in LA. There's Sprinkles and there's Frosted. Sprinkles, they're the ones with the cupcake vending machine. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. I know you've never been to California, have you?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, no, I've been to California several times.
What? Actually, you've never been to LA?
No, I've never been to LA. I've been to San Diego. I've been to San Diego, I guess only twice. I've been to San Diego.
And you didn't just drive up to LA? You came all the way to San Diego and you didn't just drive the 2 hours up to LA?
That was before it's not 2 hours. I thought it was 5 hours.
No, from San Diego to LA? No, it's like an hour and a half drive. It's super close.
That. Well, I didn't know you very well. Actually, I went before I even started it. I haven't been back since I started Inspire Budget. We went to San Diego as a trip right after we paid off debt. We flew out there, just Matt and I, for like 4 or 5 nights over spring break.
San Diego is a beautiful place.
It really is. Oh,
for California,
and I went with my mom. I've been 3
Oh,
times.
that's right.
I went with my
Yeah, see?
mom, and I did know you then.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not wasting my time coming up there to see that fool.
Pretty much.
Yeah, San Diego. The go-to places, like if you got to go to the 3 places in California, you got to go to. It would be San Diego, it would be LA, and it would be San Francisco.
Yeah. So
I mean, those are the go-to
we'll
places.
get there eventually.
You'll get
Eventually.
there. I mean,
Okay.
there's no point in coming here right now, but you'll
No,
get
we're
there
not going
eventually.
to. No. Are we ready to clap, Chris?
No, not yet, because I'm still figuring this out, Allison.
Why did you insist on buying this expensive piece of technology when what we were doing worked perfectly fine?
So here's the thing, Allison. It's a back and forth between I have a Mac, I have a PC. Oh no, hold on. This is my friend here.
Complicating things.
He said, "Sacramento Kings suck." I know this is my okay. Here we go. This is awkward throwback here. My friend TJ, who you may recall from that's the person who locked me and my friend out of the house.
What
when the
jerk.
fireworks got thrown on. So if you didn't catch, I don't know how many episodes ago this was, but one of my opening stories was a friend and I I had some firecrackers. We went up to TJ's house and we were like, "Hey, look at this!" We lit some fireworks and threw it into the street. But then a car drove by as we threw it, and it landed on the hood by the license plate and went off. He slammed the door on us and locked us outside to face these strangers who we threw fireworks on their
This was
car.
episode 9 when TJ
episode
was
9?
a jerk. Yeah.
And he just peeked through the blinds at us and laughed.
And is this TJ saying
This is
Sacramento
TJ right
Kings
here.
suck? Well, you know what I have to say, TJ? I have to say middle school TJ kind of sucked and was a jerk to Chris.
Yeah, that's right. You tell him.
He could have gotten beat up by those mean people driving the car. You don't
Yeah.
ever know.
He didn't even think about
Gosh,
that.
TJ.
I mean, he would have felt real guilty if they would have beat me up and I would have ended up in the hospital.
What would he have done? He would just like stood there laughing, pointing,
Some people.
cackling. Gosh, TJ.
Oh man, we have a good group in here right now. Okay, wait, we have some more comments here. This one's coming from
Is this
Justin
from TJ?
Hughes. Said cupcake vending machines. That sounds like the best idea ever.
I
It
have not
was.
seen a cupcake vending machine. I think I saw some when I was in Vegas once. And I'm pretty sure I was like, but how new are they? How new are they?
They've been around for a while.
How fresh? No.
Oh, how long are the
fresh are
cupcakes?
How fresh are the cupcakes inside?
See, that I
right?
can't vouch for. I cannot vouch for that.
I want to know that they're like no more than like 24 hours old or something.
Yeah, see,
If I'm
that
gonna
I can't
pay
vouch for.
good money for a cupcake, I want it to be a fresh cupcake.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I think, I don't know. It's normally next to the actual shop. They're normally not like a cupcake vending machine like on the street. It's like there's the shop and then there's the cupcake vending machine outside of the shop. So I think they're like feeding it into the back of the shop.
You're like walking out of Walmart. You're like, oh, look, here's the cupcake vending machine right next to the kids' things where you drop the quarter in and spin and it just puts out junk.
Yeah, let me get these 3-week-old cupcakes out of here. And then Tammy said she agrees with Justin. I would like to experience a cupcake vending machine. We got to come out to LA.
Oh,
You have
you
got
know
to come out
what?
to LA.
I think that we need to have like a This Is Awkward reunion where Matt and I come out, hang out with you and Vina, and you take us to the cupcake vending machines. Don't take me to no cupcake store. I want the vending machine experience.
You get the full experience of what it's like to
Exactly.
put in money and get a cupcake out of a machine. All right, guys. I swear, I'm almost ready.
Mm-hmm.
Paul's back again. He said, must see in California. I'll give a shout out to Paul. Paul's been the one helping us with the new video graphics for This Is Awkward. So if you've joined us on Instagram,
Thanks, Paul.
Paul's the one who's been making our videos there.
Thank you, Paul. We appreciate you.
And then Erica. Oh, Erica
Hi,
is one of our
Erica.
newest patrons.
Oh, hi, Erica.
So thanks for
Welcome,
joining
welcome.
us.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, Chris is just stalling as he's making sure that I'm doing this correctly.
What are you doing, Chris? We got all kinds of awkward stories.
I swear it is almost ready. I promise you this. Kind of.
This is how it usually goes, but it's never filmed, right? It's never recorded for people.
Yeah, normally people don't get to see me struggling as I'm like, oh, wait, yeah, I got this. Don't worry.
Exactly. No, most people don't get to see that. And, but anyway, we're happy you're here. And wherever you're watching, you're going to get some fun bonus information kind of coming out. You get to listen to the podcast before it comes out, which is exciting.
I'm just letting you
how's it
stall.
going?
I'm letting you stall while I figure this out still.
I'm out of ideas. I'm out of things to talk about. I'm like, oh goodness.
So
What-
my opening story, to give people a preview, my opening story has to do with the trip we took with our spouses to Niagara Falls. And so we did this. This was what, the summer, right? But this was like this was my first time leaving the country, and this is one of the first trips, or one of the last trips I took before the pandemic and everything just shut down and you couldn't go anywhere.
It was in August of 2019.
Ooh,
And I think we've shared the story. I think we shared the story about how you almost missed your flight, and it was very much like a Home Alone moment where you're running through the airport. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure we did share that story. I can find that. Did we not? Did we not share that story? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we did. No, we did a bonus episode for that one. We did.
Okay. Oh, it was just the episode of us. That was all it was.
Yes,
Of us
exactly.
talking about this story. Okay.
Exactly.
That makes me feel better.
It
Because I was
should.
like,
You should
I'm
feel better.
pretty sure we did this. So anyway, this is I don't know what episode that is. Sorry, guys. I don't know what episode that is, but it is probably one towards the beginning. And we shared the story about how Chris almost missed the flight. And he literally, we held up a full plane for him. People were not happy. The woman in the seat next to me was like, they're not going to hold the plate for him. And I was like, watch it, Karen. I'm going to show you. And then they did. And then she complained about how they didn't hold the plane for her in the past. So really it was less about Chris and more about her and her hurt. You know how they say hurt people hurt people? She was hurt. So she turned around and tried to hurt Chris by telling me he wasn't going to get to make it. What? Is this not legit true?
It is true. It is true. It was one of the more awkward moments in my life because I've never walked on a plane and everyone just stopped and just stared at me. And
Yeah,
they
I
were
was
just like-
excited and I was cheering and no one else was.
no one else was happy for me to show up on that plane. They were like, you're the reason why.
You? We waited for you?
Like, this is who it is, not even famous.
And now you have to go find a middle seat. You have to choose who to punish by sitting next to two people. You have to punish two people by sitting down on a Southwest Airlines flight in a middle seat. Right?
And I am not a small person either. And it just was not great. It was not a great situation overall. Like when you're like over 200 pounds and you have to go sit in between like two other grown men, like fully grown men, and they were just looking at me like, really, this is where you're choosing to sit? I was just like, with my eyes, I was trying to mouth like I was trying to transfer my apologies for having to sit next to them. I was like, I am so sorry.
You could
Like,
have just transferred it with your mouth. You could just said,
I was
I'm
like-
really sorry, guys. I know this is uncomfortable. Settle in for a long ride. to
thankfully, it was only
Canada.
like a 2-hour flight or something like
No,
that. It
it
wasn't
wasn't
bad.
bad.
We were going like from
Yeah.
Chicago to like Buffalo, New York, I think.
Yeah. Where we got a car and drove to Canada. Okay, are you ready, Chris?
I am like so close to being done here. I'm so close. Allison, entertain us.
What are you like doing Sudoku over there? Like, what is happening? What are you doing?
Entertain us with a song or something.
I'm not gonna sing a song. Let me think about.
I think they would love to hear
what
you
I
sing a
will
song.
share. Absolutely not. They will not like. Okay, I have a funny story.
Okay.
I'm not going to use any names though because I probably shouldn't.
To protect the innocent.
I went camping this weekend, and it was with Cub Scouts. Our kids are involved in Cub Scouts. My husband's a den leader, and there was a kid in one of the Cubs in one of my sons. Right, I'm trying to keep this very vague. In one of my child's Cub Scouts group, there was another kid, and he came and like. He was supposed to be playing with the three other boys there or something. And he came over to me to sit down next to me. And I said, why aren't you going to play with them? And this is like, he knows I'm the mom of one of these kids. And he looks at me and he goes, I mean, they're kind of annoying. And I said, excuse me? And he said, yeah, they're kind of annoying. I said, well, that's not very kind to say. And he goes, yeah, it's not kind, but you agree it's true, right? I was like, you're talking
This
about
kid is
my
wise.
kid.
He is wise beyond his years, man.
I said, he really is. And I said, no, I disagree with you. And if you don't have something nice, you shouldn't say anything at all. And you need to go back and play with them. I am not here to play with you. Like, I was like, you do know I'm his mom. Like, why are you saying this
I think he was trying to put the moves on you. I think he's like, these little kids, they're
he also
so immature.
No, he also came and sat next to me again and said, I think it's really unfair that y'all brought such a big tent. And my family has a small tent. I said,
who is this kid?
Well, I'm not telling you who the kid is.
I want to know who this kid is.
I said, but that's the tent we brought. He said, well, why did you have to bring such a big tent when other people brought smaller tents?
I mean, that's a valid point.
Because that's the only tent we have. He said, why is that the only tent you have? I said, because that's the one we bought. And he said,
why are you entertaining these questions?
Just wait. It gets better. And then he goes, I think I could fit in that tent tonight.
No.
Like he wanted to come join our family for a sleepover.
Oh, he's putting the moves on you. He's putting the moves on you.
I said, no, you're not invited to stay in our tent tonight with our family. Can you go find your friends to play with?
He was like, it gets pretty cold in these tents at night. No, maybe I should just stop by.
He was not putting, stop it, that's disgusting. He was not putting moves on me. He was wanting to sleep in our tent because it was bigger and cooler, right? To him, he was like, it's this big, neat tent.
You keep telling yourself that.
And then he came over and told me my own child was essentially annoying, which, I mean, yeah, he has his moments, but still, like, don't call him out on it to me. Like, gosh.
Oh, Paul put a comment in here that I will not put on the screen.
Can you text it to me?
I will send it to you, Paul. I will not be putting that on the screen.
Paul, keep it PG.
Keep it PG, Paul.
Gosh.
All right. Guess what, Allison? It's ready.
And look,
I figured it out.
Justin says I was amazing on the stack last week. Thank you. Oh, and I have a funny story. Also, really quickly, one more. So yeah, last week I was on the stack, which was super exciting. And it was basically this live show and I was a surprise guest and I just talked and had fun. I think I wore the same shirt. And I don't know, I just feel like I did. Anyway, and there's this stream of all these comments, right? There were like, I don't know how many people joined live. Maybe somewhere between 200 and 1,000 people joined live.
That's a lot of people. And
they have this stream of all these comments and people are like, communicating back and forth and you're seeing it while you're going live and so it's just like flashing by and I saw one and it said Allison and you might not find this funny. It said my wife wants to know if you do the curly girl method. It was a man asking about my curly hair. His wife was asking a question about curly hair. So the stack is a live show that Stacking Benjamins puts on. So they have a podcast and then the show actually is going to come out, I think, on Wednesday on their podcast. So if you go to your podcast, you can download their Stacking Benjamins podcast. And then I think he said it was Wednesday. It could be wrong. But they brought me on and we talked about paying off debt and, some motivation things. They asked me what was the lowest moment of our debt-free journey. And my lowest moment and my husband's lowest moment is different, but I shared that. And then it was just really fun. It was really, really fun. I enjoyed it. Some hateful comments, but I mean, those are going to happen because people be stupid.
I mean, it's the internet at the same time. So, know.
It is. Absolutely. So.
But guess what, Allison? We can officially start the show. I figured out what I'm doing. It's recording on my side over here. Are you recording on your?
You figured it out. I've been recording for 17 minutes, so thank you for wasting the space on my computer. Okay.
All right, so everyone, we have to do this thing. We have to do this clap, and it helps us sync it together. Allison thinks it's dumb because she doesn't understand why, but I'm the one editing this, Allison, so I'm going to make us clap live. All right?
Okay, let's do it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, clap, okay?
All right. One,
two.
Oh, wait, who's doing it? Wait, hold on. Are you doing it or I'm doing it?
We're both doing it. What do you mean?
No, we don't. We both can't count down at the same time.
I'm gonna say I'm always look, Chris. Pull yourself
go ahead.
Together.
All right,
1, 2, 3, clap. Okay. 1, 2, 3, clap. Wow, you were so off. That was way off. But
it looked fine over here.
Okay.
Anyways, wow, I'm ready. I just got to find our notes here for the episode, and then I'm good to go.
Are people still actually watching?
Yeah, we got 11 people here joining us.
wonderful. Okay,
Thank
let's
you.
do
All
this.
right. Your patience has paid off as we actually start the episode.
And
here.
they got some bonus funny stories as
They
well.
did
So
because it wasn't being recorded, so you'll be the only ones who will ever hear those
That's
other
true.
stories.
that's right.
All right. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So as I mentioned, for those of you who didn't catch us live as we were recording this, Allison, her husband, me, and my wife, we all went to Niagara Falls for a trip, and it was really fun. My first time ever leaving the country. We got to see these giant waterfalls. It was a fun trip. And the waterfalls, the Niagara Falls, are on the border between the U.S. and Canada. And so you drive over a bridge and you're going literally from one country to the other. So as we're leaving, this is the final day. We're going to take you and your husband back to the airport. We're driving over this bridge and it's like traffic and we're just kind of looking around. And then I think we were looking up stats for some reason on Niagara Falls. And then so I don't know if I brought it up or if you brought it. I don't know how this came up. But I think it was said. Okay, you say it because I think you remember this better than I do.
I think it was my husband was looking at stats on Niagara Falls, and he said, "Oh, this is the tallest waterfall in North America."
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Chris and I both go, but what about the American side of the falls? Like the Canada one's the North America one. What about the America side? And like your wife goes, America is in North America. and my husband was like, y'all are joking, right? And Chris and I were like, what?
Hey, this is Chris.
And this is Allison, and you're listening to This Is Awkward, and I feel really awkward right now sharing that story.
So we had a momentary lapse.
Momentary?
And, we knew we were leaving the United States. We were leaving Canada going to the United States, and someone mentioned North America, someone mentioned Canada. It was this whole thing. It was a lot of confusion going on, okay? Okay, it wasn't just
But our spouses were not confused. Can I just say that in our mind, right, there's waterfalls in the Canada area and there's waterfalls in North America. In Chris and I's mind, whenever he said the North American falls, I think he was only talking about either the American falls or the Canada falls. And we were like, but what about this other one that's right next to it? And
all I know is that that was not my proudest moment.
It was not mine either. It was so embarrassing. But can I just tell you the other thing we discovered this weekend was we discovered that both of our spouses are really smart, like freakishly smart. We are average, normal, a little bit above average.
I mean,
smart.
I don't want to be lumped in with you right now.
No, it's you too, my friend.
I want to be lumped in on this.
It is you too.
I consider that was just a lapse right there.
No,
I think it was kind of contagious. It was contagious.
It was not. Are you going to talk about the word that you and I had on our plan to talk about on a podcast, and we both thought it was a real word until...
No, this was your word. Please.
No,
please,
no.
Please tell us.
No, that does not matter. All I know is that in this trip, it was clearly noted that Chris and I married two people that are much smarter than us in terms of vocabulary and all of these things. So it was just a little more obvious in that trip. And, it was good because, Matt and Vina had someone to talk to that was more on their super high intellectual level. It's not that Chris and I are dumb.
Yeah, no.
It's that they're just really smart.
Like I tell my wife, like you just know words that aren't necessary. It's like, who are you trying to impress? Like we're just speaking English to each other right now. It's not a competition, okay?
Thank you. And I'm just like, can we just use words that we all know? Whenever, Matt's talking, I'm like, do you want me to get a dictionary? Because I will if I have to, but I prefer not to,
And it's like, I know you're just showing off.
Yeah. So there was I felt like there was a lot of that this weekend. It's like they were trying to show off to each other who was smarter. And you and I were just like, look at the pretty water falling over the rocks.
Isn't it crazy that the water just like falls and just It's crazy, man. Oh,
Anyway.
well, that was very awkward. That was a very awkward conversation we all had.
It was. It was. And that's what we like to do here. Believe it or not, we like to talk about preferably your awkward situations and your awkward money situations, because we know that there are going to be times in your life when you are faced with uncomfortable money situations, and we want to help you get through those without losing your friends and family along the way.
Yeah, exactly. And what makes this show great, and the reason why I even love doing the show, is that we get to have you all be a part of the show. And you can do that by giving us a call at 707-200-8259, or you can leave us a DM on Instagram with your awkward story. You can follow us over at, I was going to say, I always mess up our Instagram handle, but it's at This Is Awkward Podcast. Let me say the right one this time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes. And we would love to have you call in. Like Chris said, should I say we're desperate for calls? I wouldn't say we're desperate for calls. I just say that we would love some calls.
Yeah.
Right?
And it doesn't have to be something like, dramatic. It can be something fun. It can be light. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Just we want to hear your awkward stories and then be able to talk you through it here on the show.
Absolutely. And I cannot wait to get into today's awkward story, which is a phone call. And we will do that here after we take a quick break.
Yeah. So, Allison, let me hit some music here. Oh, by the
I
way,
was like, where's our
live.
music? Where's our music? Oh,
It's right
there.
there.
It is.
A little late with the music, but hey, it's here now. Oh, so, Allison, did you know that we have a Patreon? I don't know if you knew that or not.
I do, and I love it because it's where we go deeper into some of our own awkward situations. We share bonus awkward stories. We go back and we talk about past episodes. And my personal favorite, we dive deeper into what we're loving.
Yeah, and actually, we have a couple of our patrons here right now. We have Erica in the room, in the chat room, because we're live right now. We have Tammy. So we would love to have more of you come join us and get some more bonus episodes, because what we're doing is we're putting out extra episodes every month. We're putting out at least 2. I think we put 3 out in February, and we're hoping to do more. Maybe after I figure out how to record things, I will be able to capture more of the pre and post show from our live streams as well, and they can also be part of the bonus Patreon feed, because I'm learning this new board, which I wish I could show. I wish I could just hold it up here and show you, but
Nope, let's not do that.
No, we're not doing that.
No,
Okay,
that's
I won't do
awkward.
it.
That's awkward. Regardless, we would love for you to join. What's so wonderful about it is that there is a budget-friendly option. So tiers start at just $5 a month. This gives you access to more of This Is Awkward, because let's be honest, sometimes we just need a little bit of a smile, and we would like to help you laugh and have fun and enjoy your week.
Yeah, exactly. So you can come join us over at patreon.com/This Is Awkward Podcast.
Okay,
right.
Chris, are you ready for this awkward story?
Oh, I'm so ready for it. Let me put it
Are
up
you-
on the screen here for everyone.
Okay. I'm excited. This awkward story actually comes from someone that Chris and I both know, Zena Kumak. I believe that's how you say her last name, from ConsciousCoins.com. And her story is so awesome. So, Chris, do you want to go ahead and play it for us?
I will.
Do you
Let's
know
see
how
if
to
I
do
did it
that?
right.
I was like,
Hey, Chris and Allison. This is Zena from ConsciousCoins.com, and here's my awkward money story. So when I was a senior in college, my great aunt called me and said she wanted to give me a graduation present, and she wanted to give me some money, and she wanted me to go get it from her personally. Now, my great aunt lived in Berlin, Germany, and she didn't trust Western Union. She didn't feel comfortable wiring me the money. And she promised if I went to visit her in Berlin, she would give me the money. And she was about to give me about like $2,000, I think. And my goal was I would use the money to travel around Europe for a little bit. So I called her when I was about to book all my trips and all my flights and everything, and verified that she was going to give me the money. And she said she would, and everything was great. So I booked everything. I booked a trip to Ireland, to Paris, a cooking school in France. I was so excited. And about, I think, a month or so before I was going to go visit her, she calls my grandmother actually and tells me that, so sorry, she gave the money to someone else. So I lost about $1,500 in lost deposits because I couldn't afford the rest of the trip. So that's my awkward money story. So excited to hear what you guys say. All right, thanks. Bye.
Oh man, my stress levels hearing that story. I don't know. That hurt me. I was like, she went through all that work to book it, and then Paul even said it. He said that money seems a little. I mean, seems a little considering the trip cost. So it was like, oh, but I think she was going to use the money to fund the trip. It was kind of like, I'm going over here, but I get to visit Europe, and it's probably not going to cost me anything. I mean, I think that's what she was going for.
I'm guessing she thought, okay, she's going to give me $2,000. Maybe I'll make this trip cost $4,000.
Yeah,
so that it'll
exactly.
cover half the trip, or maybe her parents, who knows, got the flights with points or whatever. Regardless, what is up with this great aunt? This is like telling a kid, okay, I'm going to give you this sucker after, okay, I'm just thinking, I had a kid today. I took him, he had to get a shot at the doctor. And it's like, I told him afterwards, okay, I'm going to give you, after the shot, I'm going to give you, we're going to get you ice cream because you're brave. Because you're brave. And we like to reward you with food because we're America. And the land of the obese? I don't know. Anyway, and it's like me being like, okay, I'm going to get you through that shot and be like, oh, no, never mind. We're not going to get ice cream. I also want you to pay me $2.
Yeah, it's like that, except the ice cream was in Europe.
Exactly. It's like, I don't know. What came, like, who did she, you know what? I'm going to think that maybe there was someone else that really needed the money. That's what I would have to tell myself.
That's my hope. It's like, she was like, I have this niece. I love her. I want to give her this money. But then, oh no, my nephew, he got kicked out of his apartment and now he has nowhere to live. So I'm going to give him this money. That's what I'm hoping the situation was. That
there was a homeless nephew involved.
Yeah, there's some financial emergency that she had to give it to someone else, because at that point, Allison, because she didn't tell us and it didn't tell us, would you call up the aunt and be like, so what's going on? No. Why? No, you wouldn't do it?
I wouldn't. I would tell my grandma. I would be like, Grandma, what is the deal? What do I do? Like, and it just, I don't know. And it's also very wise. Like, if it was me and I had because she said she had just graduated college, right?
I think so.
If it was me and I had just graduated college, I would be like, forget you, great aunt Cynthia. I'm going on this trip anyway. I'm going to take out extra student loans, or I'm going to put on a credit card, because that's exactly what I did, Chris. I took out $5,000 of student loans to go on a 25-day trip across Europe because that's how responsible I was. So that's what I would have done. I would have been like, okay, great.
Okay, hold on. We need to stop here. So how much did you end up taking out in student loans to do this trip?
I took out $5,000 in student loans, and then probably a little bit more, because I think $5,000 was like the base cost. That was like the flight.
That was just to get you there.
That was to get me. That was like it was basically this tour that I went on with people in my college, like maybe 20 other people. And it was 25 days. We went to 11 countries. And when I was first booking it, and I told my mom I want to do this, she was like, but where are you going to get the money? I was like, Mom, there are these things called student loans, and they're used to help you have fun. And that's exactly what I'm going to use them for.
It's like it's a student loan, but it's not an education loan. It's a loan for me, a student.
Yeah, I'm a student. I get a loan. They will never ask me for the money back because I'm going to be a teacher, and teachers don't have to pay back their student loans because we do so much good in the world, right? That was my mindset. Yeah. But anyway, back to Zena and her situation. What would you do, Chris? I want to hear your opinion.
Oh, well, see, okay, here's the situation. I think it's tough because I think it was the excitement of, oh, not only am I going to get to go to Europe, I'm going to get some money from this relative. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's almost like you're taking a risk by booking everything and paying for it up front, not knowing if you're for sure going to get the money or not.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard part. It's kind of like you're taking a risk by doing that. And it's like you hope that a family member wouldn't tell you, hey, I'm going to give you this money, and then like change their mind. Like you hope that's not a possibility.
JK. She calls her up and tells her just kidding in German.
It's like, I just really wanted to see you. I know it's the only way I can get you to come over here and see me is if I promise you some money.
I mean,
Yeah, but
yeah, you're right. And I don't know. I mean, it's hard. And I would not confront the aunt because, you know, it was a gift to begin with. Like, you can't.
Yeah, true.
You can't count on that, right? It's like someone saying that, you know, they're going to give you $1,000 for your wedding and then they show up with $20. You're not going to be like, oh, don't you owe me $980? Like, come on. It's not appropriate. You almost just have to, like you said, learn the lesson and try to make sure things are more secure in the future and in place in the future.
Yeah. Paul said, this is a direct quote, "You ain't getting me to leave the country for less than 10,000, maybe 6,000 if it's in the Americas."
In the Americas.
North America, right?
North America includes Canada, guys. Chris and I learned that real good when our spouses looked at us like we were crazy. Goodness.
I think that's the hard part. It's like, yeah, it's like she took a risk booking all this stuff, not knowing if the money was going to come through or not. And I think that's the really hard part. It's like
But who would think that it wouldn't? I mean, unless great aunt, you know, Gerelda has like this.
Gerelda?
I don't know. Unless great aunt Jerry has like this reputation of, you know, taking back. It's like, no, there's no take backs, great aunt.
Yeah,
no,
I don't
take
know.
Backs.
That's a tough one. I think it's being young, she's probably just caught up in the excitement of, I'm going to get to go on a trip, going to see family, get some money. It's going to be great. And it didn't work out.
Yeah. And it was responsible of her to cancel everything, even though she's out money, right? There are going to be these times in our life where something happens and where you have to eat the cost of it, you know, and that's not uncommon. It's just frustrating when it happens.
Yeah. And I think it kind of reminds me of like the whole idea of like sunk costs. Like, you think that you're missing out on something because you've already spent some money. Like, she's like, okay, I've already put this money in. I'm going to have to still pay like a fee. I'm going to lose some money. I might as well just pay for all of it. And you kind of end up in a situation where it's like you would end up losing more. She would spend more money that she didn't have versus just saying, look, I spent this money. I thought it was going to work out. It didn't. Let me just take the loss here and then just move on and not make this worse. So I think she made the right decision.
Side note, and Chris, I don't know if you're going to like that I'm going to bring this up. Some financial people who shall not be named would call this a stupid tax. But I don't think this makes you stupid. I don't think that it makes you stupid. I think that, you know, it's just life happens. Sometimes things go unplanned, right? Sometimes we are faced with these financial situations that we have to just say, you know what, this didn't work out my way, but I'll be okay. Right? Eventually, I'm sure, you know, she was able to figure out a way to catch up on that $1,500 or whatever, but we are not guaranteed a life with no ups and downs when it comes to our money.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true. 100% true.
So.
Yes. I mean, I would love to hear. So we have a couple more comments in here, people on their thoughts.
I want to hear.
So Beth said, my thing is, wouldn't it cost more money to go to get the money?
So, okay, yes, I agree with this. It would cost them more money, maybe, but I think maybe she graduated like, I don't know how old Zena is. What do you think? Like maybe 7 years ago?
I think Zena and I are about the same age. So if we are, then I graduated college about 10 years ago.
5 years ago. I'm your age. Like 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, 5 years. Yeah.
So it might, maybe it did, or maybe it's like a bonus. I mean, heck, if I had some money sitting around and someone said, okay, you can come to Europe and I'll give you $2,000. And you're like, okay, well, that'll pay for half the trip and it's this experience. I would jump on it. I would be like, okay, great Aunt Jerry, I'm coming your way.
Oh, okay. Here, this is how I want to wrap this up. Okay. I want to know, where would you want a long lost relative to pop up and offer you money if you came to visit them? What part of the world do you want them to be in?
New Zealand.
I was going to say New Zealand.
No, you weren't.
I was. I've always wanted to go to New Zealand.
Are you serious?
Obviously never been because I barely went to Canada for the first time. It was my first time out of the country.
Shut up. Are you serious? New Zealand?
It always looks so beautiful. And
it does.
I will not insult anyone by trying to do a New
know
Zealand
what?
accent, but
No, let's go. Let's get Chris and Vina. We'll have them read up on some fancy literature.
I am Chris.
So, let's get Matt and Vina. Sorry, I'm talking to you. Let's get Matt and Vina. Let's have them read up. Oh, Matt just walked by. I'm seeing if he's listening. Let's have them they can geek out on some book stuff and everything like that. Yeah, see, New Zealand is the correct answer, Justin says.
Justin knows.
They can discuss whatever. I don't know, whatever philosophy or anything they want to talk about. You and I could record some podcasts.
Exactly. From New Zealand, from the highlands of New Zealand. I don't know if that's a thing, but I feel like that's a thing.
Oh, New Zealand. That's good. I would go get $2,000 from New Zealand if a random, relative popped up there.
All right. I'll pick another country to make it more interesting. I think if not New Zealand for me, it would probably be, I was just going to say Japan. I would love to go to Japan.
Man.
A friend of mine he's in the military and he just got stationed in northern Japan. And he posted a video of them getting eggs from a vending machine. Eggs.
Like scrambled or
no, like
hard boiled?
Eggs in a shell. No, raw eggs in a shell. Raw eggs from a vending machine. And I'm like,
this is. Do you try?
You can get everything in a vending machine. Like we were talking about cupcakes in the vending machine in the pre-show. They're getting eggs. They're light years ahead of us. We're barely figuring out cupcakes in America, and they already got eggs.
I mean, there's technically eggs in cupcakes, so one could say we have eggs in a vending machine. They're just baked inside of cupcakes.
Oh, next time tomorrow for breakfast, I'm gonna crack open a couple cupcakes and make an egg sandwich.
Vina's gonna be like, "Why are you eating a cupcake for breakfast?" And you'll say, "It has eggs in it."
Yeah.
Duh. It's a breakfast
Come
food.
on now. Thought you were so smart. Didn't know this.
Oh my gosh.
Well, anyways, I think we've covered this awkward story long enough on there. But yeah, that's a tough one. I think that's a very tough one where it's like, what are you gonna do? I think like many of us fresh out of college, we would have been in the same position where we would have been like, oh, why not? It's a free trip to Europe. Sounds great. And
exactly.
It just didn't pan out. And that is not Zena's fault.
Exactly. And if you want to follow Zena on Instagram, you can follow her just Zena Kumok, ZinaKumok. She helps millennial women spend their money mindfully, especially after this experience. Maybe that's what made her want to do it.
They may have turned her life around. They may have led her to the career she's chosen now.
Might have. I love it. I love that idea. Anyway, we are going to be right back after we take a quick break. When do I start?
You start whenever you want.
Okay. This episode is brought to you by How to Become a Booked Out VA Class. This is a free training that my friend Abby gives, and it's all about how to become a virtual assistant. This is the side hustle I wish I had known about whenever our family was paying off debt and I wanted to make some extra money on the side. What I did wrong was I did work outside of the home, which took me away from my family when I didn't even know that you could become a virtual assistant and work from home. So if you want to get access about how to become a booked out VA, go to inspirebudget.com/virtual-assistant.
Hey, Allison.
Chris, guess what?
What is it?
Oh my gosh, it's time for What I'm Loving, and I'm so excited. I am excited about this one.
I love this segment so much. You have a lot of enthusiasm going on right now. I think that means you really want to share what you're loving.
I do,
you want to
but
go first?
I don't. I'm going to say the best for last. Sorry.
I knew you were going to say that. Whatever.
But you didn't let me go into my spiel about what I'm loving is.
You just had to, I got distracted by the insult. So Allison, please tell us, what is What I'm Loving all about?
So what I'm loving is whenever Chris and I are given an opportunity to share something that brings us just a little bit of peace and joy during the week. It could be a thing, it could be a person, it could be an item, it could be a food. Like, it could be a cupcake vending machine. It could be anything that makes us smile, and that we want to share that smile, that joy, that happiness with you.
Yeah. And so I guess I'll kick it off, since what I'm loving is not nearly as interesting as what you're loving. So
I mean, it usually isn't. So
it normally never is.
I can't wait to hear what yours is.
I want to kick things off with an honorable mention to WandaVision.
Oh.
Just watch the final episode. I will not give any spoilers. But this was a really fun, really interesting show. So yeah, just a shout out to WandaVision again, which I'm sure you have not watched. I know you showed me that your husband and your kids were watching it, but you have not you've not even taken a second to watch it.
Well, that is because I was called into surgery. And
What?
I don't know. Just like what would a doctor say? I will give it a try. You know what? We have a really long trip. Can you download, like on Disney Plus, can you download the episodes to your phone so you can watch them? See, I wonder, I mean, I know you never leave your house, so why would you need to do that?
What do I need to download stuff for, Allison? I'm going to be at home.
But if I'm on a long, like 10-hour car ride, right, I could download some of them to my phone and watch it.
Maybe.
I know you can do
give
that
it a try.
Netflix. Okay.
I don't work for Disney, Allison, so I can answer those questions for you.
Okay, Chris, I want to know what you're loving.
All right, so let me clear my throat as I get ready for this. I'm just going to put it on the screen because what I'm loving is called Fake Famous. So I want your best guess, Allison, at what you think this is.
You always do this to me. Okay, I think this is a YouTube channel where, no, this doesn't make sense for 2021, but I'm just going to go with it. I think Fake Famous is a YouTube channel where, wait, I can't hear you anymore. Are you there? Okay, I think it is a YouTube channel where people are out on the streets and they are filming. They have a filming crew there, and an actor, like the actor in the YouTube video, pretends like they see someone famous and they start freaking out, and they try to see if the crowd around them will also believe this is a famous person, thus being a social experiment.
That was a very elaborate wrong answer.
That was. Oh, dang it! I was
you went through a lot of efforts for a wrong answer, so I appreciate
I thought it was really good. I was like, what it is? It's fake. It's fake famous sightings. Okay, what is Fake Famous?
No, not okay. So you I think I watch way more YouTube than I really do, because you think everything I suggest that you don't recognize is a YouTube channel.
I think it's because sometimes you suggest things that I don't know what it is, and it's a YouTube channel because I don't consume YouTube.
You're just old. That's all it is. That's why you don't know. But anyways,
you are older than me.
Just
you
like
are a
Angie,
month older than me.
Just like Angie, who also saw this. It is a documentary.
Ooh, is it the
on
Britney
HBO?
Spears documentary? I saw that one.
This is not the Britney Spears
You should
documentary.
watch it.
Are you calling
Very
Britney
sad.
fake famous? Is that what you're calling her?
No, I would not. No, I would
They will
not
come
ever
for you,
do
Allison.
that.
If you did,
Look,
they will come
no,
for you.
I know Britney listens, and girl, I don't think you are fake famous. Okay, go on.
Okay. This is a documentary about kind of looking at social media and like the fakeness around it. I mean, and so
Ooh.
the person who's directing this documentary, they do this talent search in LA. And they put out this call, and all they say is like, if you want to be famous, come here, come to this like audition.
Okay.
They bring in all these people who are, it's like there's singers, there's dancers, there's people who just do random stuff. People who just want to be famous for just being themselves. And they go through and they pick 3 people.
Okay.
And their goal is to make these 3 people fake Instagram famous. And so what they do is they start buying bots. They buy bots to pump up their followers, and then they set up all these elaborate photo shoots, and they bring in these photographers to take these pictures of them and help them craft these captions. And then they buy the bots to comment on these pictures. And their whole goal is to see if they can turn this person legitimately famous by doing these like fake things to build their followers. And it is fascinating, Allison. It is one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen.
How do you watch it? How do I get access to this?
It's on HBO. So
Oh, I don't have access to HBO. Can I have
So
your
get it.
password and log in?
No, it's a because I'm using someone else's password.
Oh my God, are you serious? You made
So I
me
can't-
feel a little bit of shame and guilt. Come on, just ask TJ to give me his password.
If anyone in here would like to volunteer their password for Allison to watch this, just sign up for a free trial of HBO Max. You can get
Okay.
like a week trial or something.
So, does the person who is trying to become fake famous realize it's fake, or do they
Yes.
think it's real?
They know. So once they
okay.
showed up for this audition and they picked them, they let them all in on what's happening. This is how we're going.
Okay.
This is a strategy we're going to do to make you famous.
So they basically created all these bots to try to inflate their following and inflate their engagement, therefore hoping real people will catch on and start following.
Exactly. It's kind of like an experiment of, will people gravitate toward these people just because they have a large following? And can we start getting them deals? So there's 3 people. One woman was
They were
an
getting
actual
brand deals?
All right, so let me tell you. So one, I don't want to spoil. Actually, I don't want to spoil too much. In case anyone wants to watch this, I don't want to spoil too much.
Watch it.
But this is what happened. They have 3 people. One of them was it's a woman. She was a struggling actress. One guy, somebody posted their HBO login information. I don't think I can show it on the screen.
Serious?
It's probably fake, so I won't post it on the screen.
Like, will you send it to me?
It's from Paul, so it's probably fake.
Paul, why you gotta do this like that?
But there's one woman, she's a struggling actress. One guy, he's working for in real estate, is basically like a personal assistant for a big agent.
Okay.
And the other guy is just really full of himself and loves himself and thinks he should be famous because the world needs to know him.
Okay.
And so they start to go through the process.
Confidence.
Right. He was very confident in who he was. And I won't give any spoilers, but let's just say that there was some traction that was gained in this experiment, and there were the people were getting some free things from free stuff. And these people had they weren't doing anything but just taking pictures. They would go to this guy's backyard and fake all these locations, oh, I'm in Italy, oh, I'm in the mountains, and they were just in this guy's backyard. It was so great. But it really made me. I look at social media so much differently now because they even go to this place. This is the only thing I'll say. That's I'll leave everything else a surprise. But they go to this one place in LA where they've built a fake jet. So all it is like a circular room, it's curved over, and they've put some chairs and tables and windows that are lit, and it looks like you're in a private jet. And so people come there, and you pay $60 an hour to take pictures in this fake jet.
This is real. People do this.
There's a real location in LA that you can go to.
This is disgusting that exists.
So I loved it. This was I started this like late at night, and I was like, oh, I'm too tired, but I stayed up and watched it. How long is it? I'd say like a little over an hour. It's not super long.
Okay. Well, I don't have HBO, so when we're done recording, will you tell me more about it?
Yeah. Okay. I'll fill you in on how this wraps up. I don't want to spoil it for everyone else, but
okay.
yeah. So that's what I'm loving.
That's fine.
Fake famous.
Okay.
Oh, it was
fake famous.
You will look at your Instagram feed much differently if you watch this documentary.
Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. So interesting. That is so interesting. And just as someone who does sometimes have brand deals, or I do have brands reach out to me for it's very interesting because it is a process.
Yeah, because you're real Instagram famous, and so I'm.
Well, I hope so. I don't know if I didn't buy any bots. I mean, I'm not saying I hope so. I'm not real. It's not. I don't consider that famous. It's you're like a tiny influencer. I'm a tiny influencer. So anyway, I think they call you micro or nano or I don't know, some O.
Well, something we used to call an iPod, but anyways, now it's time for the thing that you've been loving here. I'm just going to throw it on the screen here.
Okay, so wait, not yet. I want to do the lead up. Jeez, Chris. Okay, so what I'm loving is if you've been, if you've been following me on Instagram for a while, then you know our family loves camping, and we have a tent. But this past weekend, we actually bought a pop-up camper. And if you're watching this live, I'm not telling anyone really about it until Friday, so you get a little bit of a sneak peek on that. However, we bought this camper that needs a little bit of love. So basically, we found it on Facebook Marketplace. I was super proud of my haggling skills, my negotiating skills, because we went to look at it on Sunday after camping. Had our stuff completely loaded up in the vehicle coming back from a camping trip. And I said, let's just go see it. And Matt said, okay. So she originally had it listed for $6,400. She had dropped the price maybe a week before to $5,500. And I show up and we're haven't showered. We just been camping. We look disgusting. But I have my 2 cute kids and we're looking at it and all this stuff. And it's overall, it's great. It's just cosmetically, it needs a deep clean. It needs a couple things replaced. Very, very minor. And she said, well, I'm willing to do some negotiating on it. It was listed for $5,500. And I said, are you willing to take $4,500? I just straight up asked for $1,000 off. I just went for it because I was in my mind, I'm willing to do a $5,000. So I was but if I ask for $4,500, I can come up to 5,000. And she said, well, not really, but for you, I will. And I was like, aw.
She went all the way down to
Lisa.
40. She took $1,000 off.
She took $1,000 off. And so
So you hustled this old lady. You hustled this grandma who was
what?
on Social Security.
Oh my gosh, she
and trying to
really
get
was
by.
a grandma. Oh,
And
whatever.
she was like,
No,
I just need a
she had
little bit
boat.
more money to get
She
by.
had a boat and a jet ski, and she was about to move into a townhouse on the bay. So no, don't believe what Chris says. Everyone, he's not always honest. Anyway, so it's a pop-up camper. We're really excited. So basically, it fits in our garage, and it raises. It has this electrical button you press, and it raises up, and then the sides come out. So there's enough room for everyone to sleep. And it has some storage in it. It has a little dinette in it. It has air conditioning because we live in Texas, and in the summer times it gets hot and we want to go camping. And we are going to renovate it. I'm going to use that word very loosely. We're going to paint the cabinets and lay down new vinyl flooring.
That's renovating.
It is. I'm so excited about it. I just love it so much. I'm so excited because I don't know. There's something about camping.
I thought that was very appropriate.
It is. Someone
You
wrote
are a happy
Allison.
camper.
Allison is a happy camper, and I am. I mean, there's something about camping. I grew up camping. My husband did not. So the idea of getting him to start camping, he fought me on it. But I was like, no, listen up. If you want to be a real man, we got to get you out. And I know. I did not say that to him. I did not say that to him.
You hustle a grandma and then you try to you try to just tear down your husband. Wow.
I did not say that to him. It was easier because our kids wanted to go, and I was like, look, it's fun. I know all about it. It's good. And so, we started camping, and he loves it, right? So he loves it. Our kids love it, but we want to be able to have a little bit of more comfortable AC for summers. And then, we're just getting older. So it's just not as comfortable to sleep in a tent as it is for our young children. So I'm just gonna say that.
Laying on the ground is never a fun activity. I can't think of a stage in my life where I was like, you know what I would love to do right now? Not lay in my bed, but just lay on the ground voluntarily.
My kids love it. My kids love it. So anyway, we picked it up, and we're actually taking it on a trip 5 nights to a national park here soon. So I'll be posting on Instagram about it. It's going to be so much fun. And then this summer, we're going to do a little bit of the renovation process.
I just have to say this, Allison. When you post your pictures of yourself camping and you post those pictures, I'm going to assume that they're fake because of this documentary, and I'm gonna think you're just in your backyard and you just
Why would you do that?
You just angled yourself look at the wilderness.
I angled myself to have a lake behind me. Yeah. Okay.
It's like a little kiddie pool, but you catch it at the right angle, so the sun's reflecting off the water.
No. Rude. No. I'm going to FaceTime you every time I go camping. That's what I'm going to start doing.
For the proof.
Exactly. But anyway, I don't know. My kids just, they're different kids out in nature. They're still young. They enjoy it. They don't ever ask for a screen. It is incredible. They're not asking to play Minecraft. They're not asking to watch TV or anything like that. They just explore, and it's just magical. So more of that, more outside time, more exploring, more disconnecting. That's what I'm loving. And a pop-up camper. Doing it all in a pop-up camper.
Well, I love that. I love what you're loving, Allison.
Thank you.
But you know what else I love? The listener shout out.
Oh, listener shout out is so good. And this username right here is really good.
Yes, please. Are you gonna do the honors of announcing our listener shout out, which is the segment where we just say thank you and just call out one of you who've been supporting the show and just here leaving great reviews for us.
Yes, we love it whenever you leave us reviews. Not only does it just, make us smile, right? It makes us smile and brings us a little bit of joy, but it also actually helps us in the podcast, and it helps us get our podcast out to new people. So the more wonderful reviews you can give us, the better. This one is from Gator Stacy 2.
I feel like Florida. I'm assuming she's in Florida.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking she lives in Florida, or she just really likes alligators.
That's true.
One or the other.
That's true. Or Crocs. I don't know which one.
Okay, that's true. Okay, and it says, When you said Crocs, I was thinking of the shoe.
That's what I was talking about. Anyway, it was a horrible joke gone horribly wrong.
It was really bad. Okay, so she says, great chemistry between the two of you. As a psychologist, I much appreciate your support of therapy as a tool, and your candor helps normalize therapy as an option.
That is a great review. Thank you. We're happy we can do that for you, for the audience.
I know, because let's be honest, like I talk about being in therapy all the time. In fact, I think I have an appointment in 2 weeks. I've graduated to only once a month.
But that's the thing. It's like, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's like, as adults, we never really talk about how we're feeling. You keep it all bottled up. And it's like, you know, we should all have someone that we can talk to and work through all the issues that we're all dealing with.
Exactly. And sometimes you don't even realize you have issues until you have someone that is skilled at helping you uncover these things. You know, and we think of like children. I mean, you know, I started going to therapy when I was 14 years old. It's the best thing my parents ever did for me. But even like your children at home, you know, you try to talk to them to help them learn how to deal with those emotions. You know, hopefully children can have a parent or some sort of loved one to help them with that. But sometimes adults, we just don't have that.
Yeah. No.
Right?
No.
So it's just creating a safe place. So anyway, thank you, Gator Stacy 2, for leaving us a review. And she says we have great chemistry, Chris. I think that means that she likes it when I put you down.
It's just that we're really great at faking like we enjoy talking to each other. It's, you know.
It's just like fake famous, but it's fake friends.
Fake friends. Oh, well,
we actually hate
Allison,
each other.
You've made this very awkward as usual as we wrap up yet another episode here. And thanks again to Zena for sending in the call and sharing her awkward story with us. We really appreciate that.
Yes, and if you want to call in, we would love to have you. You can call 707-200-8259. You do not have to talk to us. You'll literally just leave a voicemail, or you can send us a DM on Instagram at This Is Awkward Podcast.
Yeah, and Allison, even though you made it awkward at the end,
I did
this
not.
This wasn't that bad. This wasn't that awkward.
I think it was fun. And thanks for everyone who came and hung out live with us. If you're sitting here and you're listening to this later on and you're like, what? They go
Who
live?
are they talking to?
Yes, we do. We try to record our episodes live to get our listeners involved in the fun. And so you can always follow us on Instagram at Popcorn Finance Podcast, at Inspired Budget, or at This Is Awkward Podcast to learn when we're going live.
Yeah. So thank you all. I was like, was that the end?
Wow. You said I made it awkward.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
And this is awkward.
Yeah, it is. I think we need to get Coke Zero to sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, can we get a Coke Zero sponsorship? Is that possible? Is that a thing?
I'll work on it.
The amount of caffeine that you've been drinking in this in each and every episode. I mean,
Chris, can I tell you something? One of my goals this week was to get 8 hours of sleep.
And I wonder how many people listening
night.
actually get 8 hours of sleep.
I want to know, if you're listening right now, we want to know, do you get 8 hours of sleep? Say, yes, I get 8, or heck no, there's no way I get 8 hours of sleep. What are you, like, Sleeping Beauty? And no, I'm not, but, you know. Anyway, I had said on Sunday I wanted to get 8 hours of sleep, and yesterday was crazy. I did not go to sleep until 11 o'clock or later.
Oh, you're wild.
Shut up. Listen, I get up. You know what?
So wild.
I have kids that I have to get up and get ready. Oh, so anyway, but I don't think I'm going to get 8 hours of sleep again tonight because we're recording and I just had caffeine. So
that was a bad decision.
It was. And I'm supposed to be in bed in 24 minutes and asleep in 24 minutes.
Oh, no.
So,
well, Justin said he gets 6 hours at most for him.
That's how my husband is, and I can't function on that. Is that how you are?
I'm normally like around 6 hours. I need 8, but I'm normally somewhere around 6 because I find myself up working late all the time. Mm-hmm. Paul said so I know Paul. He has one of the worst like sleep habits I've ever met, and I've never seen
What?
anyone who gets as little sleep as he does.
3 to 5 hours of sleep each night. Paul,
I don't know how he functions. I don't understand it.
Are you just grumpy all the time? I would just be grumpy. I mean, like, I feel like I would go into all the different 7 dwarfs. I would be sleepy. I would be grumpy. What else is there?
I can't function. Like angry.
I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, I guess it's grumpy. But
Yeah. I would be.
Gruntled.
I mean, there's no way. There's no way I could do that.
No.
So,
Tammy,
Tammy,
another.
5 hours? How do you function? Oh my gosh, that's crazy to me. Here I am thinking like 7 is bad, and it's like passing up all these people.
I mean, you're in full on granny mode. So, I mean, I go to sleep.
I don't appreciate that.
I use like if I go to sleep at 11, that's a good night. Sometimes it's like 1 a.m. and
What
then I'm
time do
waking
you
up.
wake up though?
Lately, I've been waking up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock.
That's 8 hours if you go to bed at 11.
That's why I said it's a good night.
You wake
a
up
good
at
night.
7. Like,
But if I go to sleep at 1 and wake up at 7, it's not a good situation for me.
yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Did anyone else chime in?
See, Tammy said it's been like this since
Oh
the
my
teen years.
gosh. That's crazy. Well, and my husband's different. He can go to sleep and sleep for 6 hours and be fine.
No, I'm not. Like I need 8. I rarely get it, but I need it. That's why I'm probably tired all the time. That's
probably
what's
why
happening
I'm
to me.
tired all the time too. What y'all don't know is that Chris and I Marco Polo. We use the Marco Polo app to talk to each other every now and then. And like today, he in the Marco Polo video he was sending me, he yawned. And like 45 minutes later, I watched it and I see him yawn, and then I'm yawning, and I'm like, why are we always so tired?
That's a time that yawn traveled through time over to
Yes.
you.
Oh my
you know,
gosh.
Here's something about Marco Polo you didn't know. Apparently, only old people use it because my wife was talking to one of her younger cousins, and she mentioned Marco Polo, and he was like, "Oh, you still use that app?"
Are you serious? Is it like how old people or how young people don't use Facebook?
I don't think it's the equivalent of having like, because young people still use Facebook, but yeah. I think Marco Polo might be Facebook, or maybe like having an AOL email address. I think that's where it's at.
Who has an AOL email address? Well, actually, my dad does.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
is very fitting.
That's how you know you're old, if you have an AOL email address.
Oh gosh, I love it. Okay, so Angie gets about 5 to 6 hours a night. Girl, I don't know how you do it. I don't know. I guess my thing is I need 8. I don't get 8. Let me just I don't actually get 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
But my thing is by the time my kids go to sleep and everything, to get 8 hours of sleep, I feel like I'd have to go to sleep right after them. Oh no, Tammy!
I'm so sorry, Tammy.
Tammy, we're so sorry. Tammy, you have an AOL email address. It's not old, it's vintage.
It's vintage.
We're gonna say
It's
having an AOL.
trying to recover from this one. It's like having a floppy disk. A floppy
Disk. I want to show my kids a floppy disk. Have you ever seen? Okay, I saw this on TikTok or something, and it was like, take a picture, take a video of your kids taking a picture, right? Like, how would you mimic taking a picture, Chris?
Oh,
Do
like
it.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
right.
they had like kids, and they were like, like that. They're like, what? I would go like this. Boom, hit my thumb on something, and it's like, no, you go like this. Like, kids these days don't know that. Or like, how would you say roll down your window?
Oh, you'd be like this.
Yeah, like roll down your window. Kids are like,
And now the kids are like, eh.
exactly.
Yeah. My first car had manual windows and manual locks.
So did
And
mine.
every time, it never failed. If I went somewhere with my friends, they would always leave my car unlocked. They would leave the door unlocked constantly. Like I remember one time we went to the mall and we're coming back to the car, and my friend just opens the door and gets in. I'm like, "How did you get in the car?" He's like, "Oh, I guess I forgot to lock the door."
That's how mine was too. My first car was a bright purple Dodge
Of course.
Dakota truck.
Very Texas of
Standard
you.
stick shift. It was just a small little truck that was like, I don't know. It it was like from an auction or something, and my dad got it, and I had to learn stick shift, and my brother was going off to college, and my dad said, if you don't learn how to drive this truck, because I wasn't learning, I was just driving my mom's car. He said, if you don't learn how to drive this truck, I'm going to let your brother take it to college because you can't drive it. He was a year ahead of me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to learn how to drive stick shift. And so one time I went out with my mom, and she was not good at teaching me how to drive standard. And we got stuck in an intersection, and she just was screaming at me, give it the gas. And I just kept stalling out, and I was crying, and all these cars were blocked. And this nice man got out of his car, and his wife scooched over into the driver's seat, and he was like, do you need help? And he scooched in the truck, the little single cab truck with us. And I was in second gear. I was trying to start out in second gear, and then just drove it up to the parking lot, and I'm like crying. And we called my brother, and he was not happy.
He's like, I got to come rescue you from the parking lot.
I know. Well, the whole thing was no one wanted to teach me how to drive. So my dad told my brother, you need to teach her how to drive. And then my dad told me, if you don't learn, I'm going to give the truck to your brother and let him take it to college. So my brother had no incentive to help me learn.
He's like, all right, so he's like, all right, so get started. We're gonna put this in 6. 6 means 6 is like the starting point. All right.
You start at the top, you go down. Exactly. So he didn't want to teach me how to drive. So I was left on my own. Eventually my mom did, but she wasn't the best teacher.
Oh man, I don't think I ever want to teach someone how to drive. I don't think I ever want that to be part of my life. I don't think I could take the stress of it.
Yeah, I don't know. My mom she said, when Evan is 15, she will be retired. She said, so I can teach him how to drive. And I'm thinking, I don't really want you to do that. Like this is, you don't have good like track record. Oh goodness. So anyway, it's just random.
I know. This is my friend Logan. He said you'd also lock your keys in your car, which I did all the time without automatic lock. Like having automatic locks was like a life changer for me because you couldn't lock your keys in the car because your car wouldn't lock if your keys were in the door inside of the car.
That is not true. I have locked my keys in the car with my car running while I had automatic locks.
Really, I guess maybe my first car I got after that, you couldn't lock your keys in the car because it recognized the keys were in there. I don't know how.
I don't have a car like that. I
don't
know. I guess I could try. I guess I could try, but yeah, it is easy to lock your keys in the car whenever you have the manual locks. I love a standard car. I had 3 and miss it. Do you know how to drive standard, Chris?
I've never had one, but I remember I drove one of my friends.
That doesn't mean you know how to drive.
I'm sure I'm not great at it. I actually learned from playing video games. That's how I learned how to drive a stick.
That's not. No.
I'm telling you. I can do it. I can do it though. Trust me.
Okay, you said that's how I learned how to drive stick. You did not learn how to drive stick.
I picked it up from playing games.
No.
Anyways.
Nope.
Anyways,
I want to. You know what my dad did to me once when I was trying to learn stick is he took me up on a hill in a parking lot, and he said, "Okay, now stay in one position."
Oh
so you have to manage.
I would probably fail horribly at that.
Yeah, it's like so you roll back or you move forward or you stall out. Anyway, okay. Oh, Erica knows my pain. She says the same thing happened to me at a stop sign during rush hour. I had to switch seats with my mom. See, Erica, your mom knew how to drive stick. My mom didn't. It was two people in a car that did not know how to drive stick that went out to drive. Like
that's not a good recipe.
No, it's not. But I'm so glad you had your mom there. I need someone to teach me standard. I started a few years ago, but was scared off. I don't think they are really making a lot of standard cars anymore, though, are they?
It's actually hard to get. Like I think almost every car, actually, when we look, a lot of times now when you look, they still want to charge you extra for standard,
really,
for automatic, because even though no one drives a stick anymore, a lot of times it's like, oh, for another $1,000, let's upsell you to
really
automatic. But I think that's going away now. I think maybe that's like a few years ago. I mean now because I don't think I've been in a someone driving a stick for it's been years and years.
We just not too long ago, back in last May, when I got a new car, my husband drove a stick and his car was 12 or 13 years old, and we donated the car to charity. But that was the last time he's driven us, and he was like done with it, right? He had driven that car for 13 years. He was like, I'm done with the Standard.
Justin said my dad got a Mini that was standard. So apparently it's still a thing.
Oh, yeah.
You can still
I
get 'em.
dated a guy in college. It was a very unhealthy relationship, but he drove a Mini Cooper, and it was standard.
Is that what attracted you to him? Is the standard Mini Cooper?
No, it should have scared me off. I don't know. I should have been scared off by him a long time ago, way before. But no, I just thought it was neat. Neat that he had a Mini Cooper. A video game player once raced a real racer and beat him because he learned on a video game. Paul, get out of here.
Boom.
Get out of here. No one wants to hear from you. You're the one who locked out Chris.
No,
right?
that's not him. That's someone else.
Oh, sorry, Paul. I didn't mean it. But I kind of did.
Hey, just saying, look, Paul is vouching for me. You can learn
Paul,
a lot of
you don't
valuable
even know
skills
what
from
you're
video
talking
games.
about because you have a new baby and you don't get any sleep. So you're probably getting this all confused with something. Right? Right.
I think he's very valid. Paul's a wise man. I mean, based off of the statement alone, he knows what he's talking about.
That's not what you said about him before we were recording. You were talking trash about Paul. What are you saying?
Paul, don't listen to her.
You said
Paul, don't listen.
Paul never locked my doors when I was 16 years old. He always made fun of me when I locked my keys in the car.
That was not him. He said, I read a lot of articles when I don't sleep. So there you go. That's where he's getting it from.
Okay. Justin says, thank you, Chris and Allison, for answering my awkward questions about confronting my family with our family gap year. Oh, how did it go?
I know. Yeah,
What did
you know what,
do?
Justin, you need to call us.
Can you call
and give us an update.
Yes,
what happened.
Justin, call in 202-700-82.
Don't call that number, Justin. I cannot tell you where that's going to go. Here's the actual phone number. Don't call whatever she just said right now. That was not even close to being right.
This is why Chris has to put the number on the screen. 707-200-8259. Call in. Tell us. I'm the one who called about my family gap year. Here's how the conversation went. We want an update, and we will play it and respond to it or whatever. We want to hear it.
Yeah, because I don't remember what episode number that was. But that was a good one. Because actually, a lot of people were like, "What is a gap year?" That, like, a lot of people hadn't heard that term. So if you don't know, it's just basically where you take like a gap of time off of work to do something that you enjoy. Like for him, it was like he's gonna take a gap from working to do like a partial retirement or a retirement for a period of time, but not a permanent retirement. And so I love that concept of that.
Yeah. So this was episode. Is it? Maybe I don't know what it is.
I know. We got so many episodes now. I'm starting to lose track of where we are. I'm like, what episode was that again? Now when we're recording today is episode 27.
Okay, I can't find it. Dang it.
But it was in the past year somewhere where we did this episode.
Justin, do you know what episode number you are? It was after this. I don't remember.
Yeah, we have so many episodes now. I can't even remember.
27 of them. And I cannot find it. Darn. Is it the one where you messed up? No.
No, it's not that one.
Okay. Anyway, we won't worry about that because I can't find it anywhere.
All right. But this was fun.
Yeah, thanks for everyone for joining us live. I think that, it makes it more fun for us to have you guys join us live. And then also I think it makes it more fun for you because now you get kind of like an inside peek, like behind the scenes of what it's really like to record with Chris and Allison. How much do they actually insult each other? Is it more or less than I think they do? Just things like that.
Justin said he called and went to voicemail. Okay, yes, please leave us a voicemail, Justin.
Yes, it needs to. So right now it's going to go to voicemail. But if you'll call back, leave the voicemail.
He said, wait, I dialed it wrong. He was probably listening to you give the number.
Because he dialed it 202. He's calling some random person that's trying to get their 8 hours of sleep on the East Coast. They're like, why are you calling me?
They're going to wake up in the morning like, somebody named Justin called and told me about a gap year.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, well, this was so much fun. Thank you guys for joining us. And we will be recording again probably in a couple of weeks, probably in 2 weeks, right?
Oh, yeah.
Monday,
we didn't put down a date yet. Do you know when it's going to be? Do you have?
I mean, I can do March 22nd.
All right, March 22nd. You guys are watching live scheduling right now.
March 29th. This is how it works, guys.
Yeah, how about March 22nd? We are next
March
live.
22nd.
That's 2 weeks from now.
Send me a calendar invite. It's going to be good.
All right. Because this episode we're doing right now is coming out on the 17th.
The 17th.
Oh,
Yes.
we don't have an episode on the 31st.
No, we don't.
We don't.
So we'll record on March 22nd, though, get a little bit ahead. And then you guys can hear the episode before, like, 2 weeks early.
Yeah, put it on your schedule. Also, I don't know what's all this Kings hate right now.
Who are
So Wesley, I know Wesley.
Are you friends with? I think
I know
just
Wesley.
I think they're just trying to say things that you don't like.
The hatred? I mean, I see Wesley, he has a lot of hate in his heart. I know that already. He likes the Los Angeles Lakers.
Why
So I
do
know
you
there's just so
have
much hate in his heart.
Why do you have to be mean to Wesley? What did he do to you? Jeez, gosh, Chris.
He just supports.
Look at that smile.
Look.
He has the kindest smile. How can you say a man with such a kind, bright smile has hate in his heart? Who are you, Chris Browning, to say such a thing?
Look.
Judgy.
Look at this. Okay. Wesley's a good-looking man. He knows he's a good-looking man. But it's a facade for the hate that he holds in his heart. You know, you got to watch out for those. You got to watch out for those attractive people sometimes. You know, they have
So what is he like, fake attractive? What is this? Wesley, don't let him bring you down. Don't let this man right here bring you down. Okay? The Kings can suck if you want them to suck.
You know what? Thank you all for joining us. I can't take any more of this slander, Sacramento Kings slander here on the internet.
Oh gosh. Well, if you want to call in and leave us a voicemail, please do 707-200-8259. We hope to hear from you.
Yeah. So thank you all for joining us, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks on March 22nd.
Yes, same time, same place. We'll see you there.